Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to today's video. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than a video I would normally do. As you can see, I'm kind of at a sit-down location. Duh. Actually, I'm kneeling. Whatever. But basically, I had some subscribers go ahead and send me pictures of the worst fish tanks they could find. And today I'm going to be kind of doing a reaction video to them, talking about why they're terrible. And then I'm going to go ahead and obviously show them to you. So I have all the pictures loaded up right here. I'm going to go ahead and put screenshots up for you. And let's just go ahead and get right into this. So to start off, we have one from Bill Ramond, and it says he found it on Reddit. Looking right away at the picture, it's not good. So it looks like we have a goldfish in a bowl. Terrible, by the way. Goldfish are big fish, they're dirty fish, they need filters. Terrible, terrible setup. Looks like there's a Gatorade cap at the bottom, and it's like halfway filled with rocks. And there's like some weird vine thing coming out of the top. I don't know, 0 out of 10. This is a terrible fish tank. That goldfish is not gonna last very long. And it's overall just not a good setup. 0 out of 10, terrible.
Know your place, trash.
The next one is from Oliver's Exotics. Now he lives in England, and basically they have a thing similar to Craigslist there, so he went ahead and sent a whole bunch of screenshots of some fish tanks that are on their local Craigslist basically. And they're pretty bad. So starting off right here, we have a 45-liter aquarium. Not sure how many gallons that is, but it looks small. With 3 full-grown common plecos. Now common plecos get big and they should honestly only be in ponds when they get big. So that's just a red flag right there. 3 common plecos in that tiny tank. The ammonia's gotta be so high. It looks like there's a heater in there and it looks like there's also a filter, so that's good. But overall, terrible setup. Those fish need to be in like a 500-gallon tank. This tiny, looks like 10-gallon tank isn't doing it. Oliver also went ahead and sent over another picture, and this is from the same thing, the same little Craigslist deal basically. And this is 5 fancy goldfish in a 10-gallon tank.
Ho, brother, whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
Now they're giving it away for free, so that's good. It's gonna probably go to a good home. It looks like there's an air stone in there, there's a filter in there, but there's also 5 goldfish. 5 goldfish should be in like minimum 29-gallon tank when they're small. Obviously, as they get bigger, 125-gallon tank minimum, or something like that. So this tiny 10-gallon tank, that's a big no. Moving on to Mr. Catman, he went ahead and sent my own fish tank in. So if you remember, I made a video, there was a 29-gallon tank, or maybe it was a 20-gallon tank right where this saltwater tank used to be, and I tried to move it and I dropped it, and it cracked and water went everywhere. So, I mean, that is pretty bad, honestly. He says the worst tanks are the unusable ones. Yeah, that tank was thrown in the trash. That tank was actually terrible. Had that blue gravel. The fish were all fine. I went ahead and moved them to a different tank, but the hole in the bottom, that's not good. Then he also went ahead and sent a screenshot of a My Fun aquarium. I think that's what it's called. It's basically a half-a-gallon fish tank that's supposed to be self-cleaning, but it's never really self-cleaning. And they advertise that it's perfect for a betta fish or a goldfish, which is perfect for neither of those. There's no filter, there's no heater. It's literally a vase. It's a vase. And they're trying to sell this for $20. So he went ahead and bought it, and it looks like he can't return it anymore, so that sucks. I'd recommend just throwing that away, Mr. Catman. And then last but not least, we're gonna do an honorable mention. I found this one myself on Reddit. Just take a look at that. That's a koi fish and a whole bunch of goldfish in what looks like a 20 to 30-gallon aquarium. Disgusting! That koi is huge for that tank. I don't even have koi that big in my koi pond. And the filter looks very tiny, and it's overall a terrible setup. I mean, with that little filtration and that much fish load, your ammonia's gotta be skyrocketed. Same with nitrite and nitrate. Those levels are probably so high that those fish aren't gonna live for very much longer. Okay, so you may have noticed I switched places, and that's because I'm recording this clip at a different time from the other ones. The clips you've been seeing have been pre-recorded. I'm currently filming this one, and then there'll be a few more pre-recorded clips of me reacting to other tanks. But basically, while I was editing this video, I got one more email with a couple more pictures of another tank, so I thought I'd go ahead, put it in here real quick, and we can go ahead and react to it. So Katie went ahead and sent this in and said she found it when she was looking for a tank on something similar to Craigslist, basically, but in the UK, obviously, because it's not in American dollars. But just by looking at this tank, it's a pretty good sized tank. It's about 30 gallons or so. The tank looks fine. There's no heater and there's no filter that I can see, so that's a problem. There might be a filter, I just can't see it. But the main issue here is the fish. So it looks to be a large goldfish or koi, the white fish, obviously. But it's dying. It's literally in the corner dying. So that's a major issue. If the fish is dying, you got something wrong with your tank. You shouldn't be selling a tank with a half-dead fish. don't buy that tank, obviously. But this is more of a bad owner issue rather than a bad tank. The tank would be great if it got cleaned up, got a heater, maybe an upgraded filter, and it would be a perfect community tank. But the fact that there's a half-dead fish in it, yeah, that's an owner issue. The owner clearly doesn't care for their fish that much. Obviously, it's why they're selling the tank, and that's why the tank looks like that. So this is more of a bad owner issue. I mean, the fish is gonna die, which really sucks. But overall, this tank could be cleaned up and turn into a great tank. Just the owner is absolutely terrible. And then last but not least on this list, we have from Oliver again. This is basically another Craigslist kind of similar thing. And it looks to be a pretty small, I'd say 5 to 10 gallon fish tank. There's a filter in there, there's a heater in there, that's good. But there's a catfish in there. Now to be specific, this is a Cascodo Hopolo. I don't know what that is. Never had that catfish before. But he says it gets pretty big. And in this tiny aquarium, that's gotta not be good for it. Its growth is probably stunted, meaning that fish's lifespan is gonna be cut dramatically just because it was kept in this small aquarium. The aquarium itself doesn't look that bad though. That's perfect for a betta fish. There's a heater, there's a filter like I mentioned. The tank actually looks pretty good if you were to put a betta fish or something like that in there. But for a catfish that gets that big, no bueno. Anyway, that's it for this little reaction thing. I thought it'd be fun to go ahead and switch things up a little bit and go ahead and throw some of your guys' tanks that you've seen into a video. Those tanks, I have to admit, those were all pretty bad. I picked the worst ones I could find, and those were them. Now I'm gonna go ahead and throw you to when I was going to Petco the other day to show you some of the fish they have at Petco, give you a little change of scenery. Okay, so sorry about the glare. The sun's being rude, whatever. But we're gonna go ahead and head to Petco and see if they have anything cool. I'm gonna go ahead and check out their fish, stuff like that. Hopefully they have some cool saltwater stuff, but you know, you never know with stuff like this. So we're gonna go ahead and go over there, check it out, see what they got.
How many products you got?
A lot. Say to me! Hop outside a ghost and hop up in it. I know I'm about to blow, I don't. Back to the facts that they can't in the racks. I got 2 phones, one need a charge. Bailame como se fue. And we made it to Petco. As you can see, way over there. I'm gonna go ahead and run in there, see what they have.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So I'm back from inside Petco and there really wasn't that many fish. They were getting a couple in, they were getting some more saltwater fish in, so that was cool. And then there were a couple fish in the tanks down below. There were like some platies, I think. Maybe some sort of barbs, I don't really quite remember, but I did film a little bit. But a lot of the tank systems, the lights were turned off because they were getting fish. So to like reduce stress on the fish floating in the bags, they turned all the lights off. So I couldn't even film them. So I'm not home actually, I'm in the car wash. And I thought I should go ahead and tell you guys something really, really fast. Look at all of those colors. Anyway, I wanna know a little bit more about you guys and your guys' tanks. I'm gonna wait for the car wash to stop being loud. So I'm gonna put a poll, it'll be either right up here or right up there, somewhere up there, and it's gonna ask you whether you have freshwater fish, saltwater fish, or both. So I want you to go ahead and answer that, just so I can kind of see what kind of fish you guys keep. Now we can go back home. So now to check on the ducks real quick, if you remember in the last video where we set this thing up, stop biting me. Stop it. We set up their automatic feeder right here. Now that feeder's been doing great so far, and I went ahead and got another one, but for their oyster shells. Don't you stop biting me! I'm gonna go ahead and come on this side of the gate where they can't attack me, but here is the new setup. So we still have the food over there. The food one's been doing great. This one's gonna be for the oyster shells. Same exact idea, except a little bit smaller kind of, only one hole right here. This will unscrew and we'll go ahead and dump the oyster shells in here. So I got these oyster shells and I just went ahead and propped it up right here. And just like that, this feeder is now completely full. Okay, so I went ahead and installed this one right here. I just zip tied it so it wouldn't fall, but they have their oyster shells in there, their water, and then their food over there. Pretty basic setup. They're gonna be very happy. As you can see, they're just chilling out, being ducks, having a good time. You better not chase me! Anyway, that is gonna go ahead and be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed in the beginning of the video being able to see some of the submissions you guys sent in. If you want me to do something like this again, go ahead and leave a like down below. If this video gets a couple likes, I'll realize, okay, hey, you guys kind of like that reaction style video. But that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.